Hello and welcome to this new video from Maidenhead Bridge. In this video we are going to see how to install the Cloud Security Connector for Zscaler with TCP Advanced NAT Gateway using Terraform. Okay. The steps are quite simple to create the CSC using Terraform. We provide all templates for you, and on this demonstration we are going to create the VPC subnets. It's in a region from scratch. Then there is nothing there on that region. Then we are going to create the VPC subnets and route tables. We are going to create bastion host to access to the CSC of the region. We're going to create an IAM role that is needed for the CSC when it's in high availability or using TCPA. We will create the CSC, the Cloud Security Connector, and also when the connector is created with the public IP, we'll create the static IP, GRE tunnel, and location of the Zscaler console. And with that information, we'll run the initial configuration wizard on the CSC. And finally, we are going to route the traffic to Zscaler via the CSC. Quite simple steps. Our network diagram will be this one. We are going to create the VPC. In our case, we are going to create a VPC with two availability zones because we are going to use with availability zone in the future. But now we are going to create a single one to show how simple it is and how to configure and deploy using Terraform. Then let's put hands to work. First thing first, I mentioned to you that we provide all the templates. Then if you go to maidenheadbridge.com documentation and support and you select Cloud Security Connector for Zscaler, you will have the list of connector we have for the clouds and hypervisors, and click on the AWS, and here you have all templates that I'm going to use right now. As I mentioned, this is a region without subnet or VPCs. Everything needs to be created. Terraform is all about directories. If you know how to deploy Terraform, you need to know that you need to create directories and to put the resources on its own directory. Then I have the bastion host here, and have here the CSC, the role, and the VPC. And also I have inside each directory a terminal. And let's take a look about the template, the Terraform template, how it is. We provide all Terraform templates in zip format, and when you unzip the file, you will find the main, the README, the Terraform auto bars, and the variables. It is not needed. The README, of course, explain how to use this, the inputs, everything you need to do, and also how to install Terraform if you don't have it yet installed. But in general, you don't need to be worried about the main. Everything is fine here. Variable file is everything is fine. But on Terraform Auto is when you need to put your variables. In my case, this asks me for the region, for the CIRD of the VPC. Then the CIRD is 10.8.0.016. A name for the Internet Gateway, and the subnets I want to create. As I said, I will create two pairs of subnets, external, internal for the CSC in different availability zones. And all my subnets are 24, 10.8.0, 1, 2, and 3. And this first pair, internal, external, are in availability zone 2A, and the other pair availability zone 2B. Finally, this template also creates route tables. The route tables that are needed for the external communication, the CSC to the external world, and the internal communication. This table is only associated to the internal subnet, with no route, but the external has a route to the to the internet via the internet gateway. Let's come here and let's check the plan. And no errors, and then apply. This is all the resources that are going to be created now. Okay, do you want to do it? Yes. Then it's creating the VPC, the routes, subnets, and all the stuff. Okay, the next task I'm going to do, I have the VPC created now. If I refresh here, it's on one VPC and 4 subnets and the route tables I create. The next task I need to do is I will create a Bastion host, and the Bastion host to access to the system. And for the Bastion host, I need to check the following. My inputs are, need to go to EC2 Bastion host Terraform auto. The region, okay, that's the region, that's fine, and a name, VPC ID and subnet, okay, and my key name and my route table and internet gateway ID. All this information was created in the step before. Then I need to come here and say, okay, well, what the first thing I need to know is the VPC ID created. Then the VPC ID is this one. Let's copy. Okay. Subnet ID, where I want to put the connector, it will be in the internal pair 1. This internal pair 1. Okay. My source IP, because this template restricts the access to the Bastion from your own public IP. I am on this IP, then this is my IP. Only traffic from this IP will be allowed. The key is already created, you need to have it created. The route table ID, this is the table ID where is the subnet. Then I need to come here and on route table ID, this is the route table ID, the internal one. And I need to put my route table ID. And finally, the internet gateway ID that was created here. So this is the beauty of Terraform is you can create and destroy the resources as you wish. Everything was filled. I put a name, region, on all the data, all the information for the Bastion host. Then let's do now Terraform plan. And Terraform apply. Yes. It's creating a Ubuntu machine, a small Ubuntu machine. Well, now I have the public IP of the Bastion host. This is 3, and I'm using a software to SSH the Bastion host. Then my Bastion host here, let me edit this. Is this file save? Now let me correct this for the future because I will use this Bastion host as a sham host. Let me save this. Okay. If the Bastion host is up, I should be able to get into excellent. We are inside now the Bastion host. Then what I have is this laptop is accessing the Bastion host. Okay, next step. This next step on my presentation. Let's check the next step is creation IAM role. The role is important if you have the CSE in using PCPA or high availability. I recommend to create the role and to apply anyway, just in case in the future you don't forget to do it. Then going back here now, I will go to my template where I have the role. Again, on the role is this. Apply these policies, and it's not needed to touch anything. But on here, on Terraform Auto, all you need to put your values, the region, and the role name. The roles are global. Then if you create it in one region, you can use this reuse the role if you have CSEs in multiple regions. Then now I will come here. I will do Terraform plan and Terraform apply. Yes. It's created the policy and the role. Good, good, good. Finally, I have the name of the instant profile. That is what I need. In general, it's the same that the role. Now it's time to create the CSE, the last step. With Terraform, now let's check the EC2 Zscaler. This is the, and here I have the same format, main, output, Terraform, auto variables. One important thing regarding the config user data file, if you want to pass parameters at the moment of the init installation, you can pass different parameters like the DNS, NTP server, syslog, bypasses, outbound firewall. In this case, we are not going to do it. We are going to configure from scratch, but you can pass parameterization at the moment of the installation. Then I will put focus on Terraform auto bars, and here I will need to put this information, and let's do it. Then VPC ID first, where I'm going to place. Then I need to come to the VPC information, then the VPC ID. Copy. Okay. The second is the external subnet, and we'll go for external subnet 1. This is external spare 1. Okay. Copy. And now the internal subnet. I will go for internal subnet, internal pair 1. Then this is on availability zone A. I'm sorry. Copy. Okay. Name, I will name this name, deployment region, name for the instance type, key name, the key, and the role. CSCIM instant role. Let's check the role. The role is the same name. CSCIM instance role. Okay, save this file. Now let's go to Terraform plan to check if there is any error and to see the values. And Terraform apply. if you check, this is creating plenty of resources. It's creating the security groups, the public IPs. It's creating all the associations, and it's also create the instance, the internal IPs, external IPs. Well, there's multiple things, but it's quite a straightforward process if you use Terraform. Well, it's done. We have now um, the CSC app. The first thing you need to check now on ours is the CSC tunnel public IP. This is the IP we need to use to create the location on Zscaler. Then I will take this IP and I will go to the Zscaler console that I have somewhere here. Didin, didin, dudun. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Now let's go to administration, static IPs and GRE tunnels, the static IP, and on description I will put the name of the connector. Let's put the name of the connector. You can put whatever you want here, but it's good to have to remember what it is. Automatic, it's in Ohio, it's fine, and save. The next, I go to GRE tunnels. At GRE tunnel, I will select this, oh Lord, to 188. 118.1.8.234.60. Correct. Description, I will put it Ohio. Data centers, that's fine. And on IP range, yes, select the first range you have, next, and save. Okay. And now we're going to create the location. I will add a location. I will put the name, the Ohio country, United States. And time zone, New York. Yes, time zone. Location type with corporate or server traffic. And a static IP, select the static IP. Okay, so, okay, here is something important. We need this information, these three values, to fill the wizard of the connector. Then I will put in the notepad here these three values. Sorry, something's wrong here. Let me copy it again. These three values. Okay, sorry. Again, primary destination, second destination, and the first IP. This is what I need. I was picking up it wrong. Then primary destination, second node destination, and first IP of the tunnel, and save. And activate. Okay, then now I'm ready to log in the CSC. And we're ready to, sorry, here we are going to, we created the CSC, we create this, now run initial configuration wizard. I need to come to the CSC and check the private IP. Gateway private IP is this one. Copy. Okay, and I will log into the CSC via the Bastion host, the sham host. I need to edit this and to put the correct IP. And save and connect. Okay, I received this wizard. The GRE information was never configured, and you need to go to select cloud, blah blah, static IP. Well, we did these steps from this IP. Then we are ready to configure. Do you want to continue? One, yes. Your current cloud is Zscaler 3. Do you want to change the values of GRE? Yes. Primary destination is this one. Okay. Second destination, secondary Zscaler node. And finally, the first IP of the range of the internal IPs of the tunnel. Okay. Return to primary tunnel. I put yes. This feature is if the primary tunnel fails, the connector will switch to the secondary. But when the primary goes back, is online again, if you put true, the connector will return to primary. If you put false, the connector will continue with the secondary. Do you want to implement these values? Yes. And now the connector is rebooting and applying all values and firewall rules and this stuff. My last step of this is to run the traffic, route the traffic via the CSC to the Zscaler. To route the traffic, I need to go to the to get the ENI of the connector, internal interface ENI, that is this one. And now this is a dynamic change. Then go to your AWS console here, go to your route tables, check the internal one that was created on the, let me refresh this. Sorry. Check the internal one and edit routes and add a route and say my default route, I think, will be via network interface ENI, this one, the internal of the connector. Save the change, and that's it. Okay. Then now we can log in again on the CSC to validate if the CSC is up and running. And I will do show configuration status to check the tunnels and all the stuff. The tunnels are alive. I'm using Washington DC. Everything is up and running. Then now from the Bastion host, remember the Bastion host is behind the CSC and is affected by the route we created. Then the Bastion host is here. Then the default route is via the connector, and the route to my IP is via its own IP. Then I can use the Bastion host as an internal instance. And on the Bastion host, I will run the command call ip.zscaler.com grep u, and we are connected. You are accessing via the internet. Then blah 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 blah. And that's it. This is the end of the installation. As you can see, it's extremely simple, and with Terraform is extremely straightforward, and it's very simple steps. Now any instance that is you attach the subnet, internal subnet, to the route table internal, will be routed via the connector to Zscaler to the internet. Well, this is the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for your time. Remember, documentation is documentation and support, Zscaler, select, and you have all template here to do this. And also we will put the video on this section. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can contact me directly or contact our sales teams or our via our page or support page.